Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for Hamne. You have this random card. I don't know, I'm using this Gilded Lenormand, and it has like random wild cards in it, so we're going to skip it, and I'm going to pull two more cards. You have the Queen of Diamonds and the Mice, the Seven of Clubs showing up here. And so I feel the Mice can be kind of like the Seven of Clubs in the Lenormand, can be kind of like good and bad. The Mice, they represent making very slow progress. So when you think about it, mice chew through walls very slowly, and so the mice can represent kind of like the small details. And it can represent kind of like getting caught up in trying to chew your way through something like information, making a decision, could be anything basically. So like I said, it can really represent those small details, those small things. This with the Queen of Diamonds here, this could be some sort of decision that you are trying to make. And, with the mice card, I kind of feel that this is saying, I do feel that it is saying that you need to look at the big picture because we have the Two of Wands right here. The Two of Wands is, not really a bad card, but he is definitely looking at something from a limited perspective. The story of the Two of Wands is that he's standing at the top of his castle, his village is right down here, and he has the whole world in his hands. So he's, as I always say with the Two of Wands, he's looking out here, but he's not looking right here. He's not looking at all the options, he's not looking at, all the potentials that exist. So the Two of Wands is kind of like a card of experiencing, as in, we need to go have more experiences because that makes us more dangerous in a good way, Capricorn. So, I think that it would be a good time for you to go kind of like see how things are done, like in work, in business, and love, and, every single area of your life. It might be a good time to explore and just, learn new things. It doesn't mean you have to agree with anything that you learn, it just means that you're becoming more flexible, that you are, having more experiences and finding other ways of doing things. So again, I kind of feel this is more big picture energy. I feel it's encouraging you to look at the big picture as well. You have the Seven of Swords, doing things in a different way, literally. Most people read Seven of Swords as lying, cheating, stealing, which it can represent, but again, Seven of Swords is a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. So he is stealing those swords from this army in the background, and he's basically going to war but in a different way. So if there's something that you're trying to accomplish or do in your life, this just says there might be a better way to do it. If you expand your horizons, which that Two of Wands is definitely saying. Expand your horizons, go learn new ways of, running your business, go learn new ways of finding love or, whatever it is that you're looking for, and that could be very helpful. You have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a card of curiosity, which would also help with this energy. Kind of like tapping into your curiosity, or, if you are becoming curious about new ideas, new directions in life, then those new directions could be very helpful for you. With the Page of Swords, and just like allowing your curiosity to be your guide would be a good thing. The one more thing that I'm getting here, Capricorn, is we go up to the Three of Pentacles, and I just looked at it literally when I said that. And these two cards here were kind of saying to me that you need to pay attention to results. Three of Pentacles, this guy here, he has gotten a very clear result. So if you are working towards anything at all, and yes, I'm speaking very generally because, I think Capricorns are working on multiple areas of their life at the same time, I think what you need to pay attention to is the results that you're getting. And, make sure that you're getting satisfactory results or better. With the Two of Wands, nothing here, the cards aren't wanting to talk. With the Two of Wands, you have the Judgment card and the Empress. So you have two cards. The Empress is very good card for abundance and self-care. Could also say you're very attractive at this time, and we have the Lovers right next to it. So if you're looking for love, that looks pretty good. The Judgment card can also be waking up to your purpose, which I feel like you are doing with that Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, again, he needs to get out into the world. And, the story of the Two of Wands as well is that he rushed to a finish line, he built his castle, and now, again, he's looking at things from a limited perspective. He needs to go build a new castle. He needs to build a new kingdom in the world somewhere else. And again, with this energy here, that's what you could be doing. You could be building something new, or you could be, building a new kingdom in work or business or career or whatever. But it's like you're waking up to something that's more in alignment with your purpose. With the Seven of Swords, I would be careful of rushing energy of the Knight of Swords here. I always look at the Knight of Swords as jumping to a conclusion. And so, But the Knight of Swords usually is like a person who rushes into our life with information that isn't true. And that does not mean that the person is a liar, it just means that they don't know. So sometimes people can rush into our lives and they can say oh my God, this is happening. Something bad is happening, or this is going to happen at work, or this is happening with love, or whatever, right? But usually when people come in with that rushing energy where, you have that feeling inside of you where you just freak out and you don't really think about the details. The Knight of Swords says when that happens, slow things down and get the facts, no jumping to conclusions. So again, if you feel like you are jumping to a conclusion, which I'm sure you all know that feeling where it's kind of like you get really excited about something that someone says and then later you find out it's not true, this says when you have that feeling, recognize it and just realize that the person might not have all the facts and that you need to get the facts. With the Page of Swords, you have the King of Wands, definitely an energy that I would be embracing if I were you, like being bold, being assertive. That's going to be your best friend over the next several years, Capricorn. It's kind of that bold, assertive energy. He's also visionary, and I feel a lot of Capricorns could have very visionary ideas that could make them money or could make them more successful. So I would be trusting those, unique, innovative ideas that you have in work, especially in work or business. But even if you're retired, these could be just daily activities or things that you want to do with your life or whatever the case may be. I would be taking bold action. We even go up to the Chariot, and the Chariot is the card of, heart control. He is a card that says where there's a will, there's a way. So we really have to take control of our life with that card and, with the King of Wands as well. Next in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Scorpio card. It says the underworld. It says awaken your inner witch to maximize potential and connect to the universal energies. You have this evil eye card. It says protect yourself against the evil eye so it doesn't negatively impact your life. We don't really see anything that negative yet in this reading. But of course I think protection is always a good idea. So I would be protecting yourself, and I would also be trusting your intuition with that Scorpio card as well. You have the Lovers, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles showing up here. The Lovers, of course, could be love. We don't see a ton of love in this reading, but if you want it, it's here, which I feel like I say to you every time, Capricorn, for years now. It seems like I don't think it's at the top of your mind, but I think that if it shows up in the right form that you'll probably accept it. So, that's more the feeling that I get here. I also do feel that some of you could be at a little bit of a crossroads, having a choice to make. Again, Queen of Diamonds in the Lenormand, Lovers, Chariot, Seven of Clubs in the Lenormand as well with the mice. You could be overthinking a decision a little bit. I kind of get that feeling here. Lovers traditionally was a card of being at a crossroads, having a choice to make, usually in love, but it could be any type. You could be at a crossroads, in any area of your life. It's not always true, but for the most part, usually the new path is the correct path with the Lovers, and the Chariot kind of makes that message a little bit more solid, and so does the Two of Wands in your reading as well. But the Chariot, he is setting himself apart. He is leaving the city behind, and so if you are making a decision to leave something behind or move in a new direction, it looks very good. You have the Three of Pentacles. We really are in a time of attention, as I always say. I think that everyone should be trying to get as much attention as they possibly can. We're talking about positive attention here. But Pluto and Aquarius, when you think about it, Aquarius is a star card, and the star means we have to stand out. And the Three of Pentacles is standing out for the work that you have done. So it's also a card of quality work. He has done a very good job building these three pentacles, and now he's getting the recognition for what he has done. So I feel it's time to put your skills on display, especially for you, Capricorn, because when Pluto was in your sign, it's almost like you've been working in darkness for a very long time. It's like you're Batman, right? It's like you fell down the well and then you were taken to this prison like Batman. I can't remember which one that is. That's the Christian Bale version of Batman, I believe. And then you built your muscles in darkness, and it's like now you're popping out Batman, So you are Batman, and I feel that you need to get out into the world and use your skills for good, right? And you need to get the attention for it. The problem is again, I think you've been doing things in darkness, not on purpose, just because, the universe has kind of kept you hidden. And so it can make it very hard to believe that you are going to get results for the work that you're doing, but it's definitely time for you to get results. You have the Two of Pentacles. Work hard, play hard, as always, Capricorn. I would make sure that you're balancing the two energies. I would make sure that you're not just working. I would make sure you're doing other things as well. With the Lovers, you have the Six of Cups. If you are attracting love, it could be like a very childlike, playful connection. Six of Cups. A lot of people look at this card as a card of the past. I do not. It can represent thinking about the past. It's a card of innocence and nostalgia, but it doesn't mean that you're going back to the past. I feel if anything, this reading screams new, so I feel like you're attracting a new connection. In love if you want it, and I think it could be very playful and good. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. Batman, like I said, Batman, she would be Batwoman maybe in the tarot, and she sees things clearly. She has her sword. Batman doesn't have a sword, but we can pretend, right? She has her hand up here, and, I always say the Queen of Swords is my card of being cautiously optimistic. Like she's willing to receive something like an offer, but she has that sword up, like she will chop something's head off if it's wrong. So I feel a lot of you are in this cautiously optimistic space. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Moon. The Moon is not see darkness, everything that we said about being Batman, right? So I think you've been wandering in the darkness for a long time. But the good news about the moon is it doesn't last forever. The moon comes up, moon goes down, sun comes up. So I feel in a lot of ways that you are kind of like getting to this mountain here. This is part of the fool's journey, and he needs to get to this mountain because the mountain, it represents an obstacle, but it also represents an achievement. When he climbs to the top of the mountain, he has achieved something. So I feel a lot of you are very close to an achievement. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this happy card and this Y card. The happy card is about choosing happiness. You can see this girl on the card is channeling happiness into the top of her head. So I feel a lot of you, it's time to choose happiness for sure. The Y card, I would be careful of asking questions like from the past. It's like sometimes I think we wonder why certain things had to happen to us, and it really doesn't matter is what the card says. You just need to keep charging forward, which we see with the Chariot. So the Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. If you believe that you can do something, you will. And I feel developing that belief would be a good idea. Like I said, he's also setting himself apart, and a lot of people get the Chariot nowadays. Again, I think this is very Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius is the collective, but I always say it doesn't say that we should be becoming part of some sort of hive mind where everybody believes the same thing. We should be making ourselves unique so that we can stand out, and the Chariot wants you to do that so that you can have future victories, but definitely could be a big win. You have the Four of Cups. I'm pretty sure you always get the Four of Cups with me. I feel this is describing all the disappointments that you've been through. And again, I think that's part of your challenge is that, yes, maybe you've experienced a lot of disappointments where things have not gone your way, but you have learned. What this guy here, what he needs to learn is that each one of these cups that disappointed him right here has provided him with something. Even though maybe they were failures or things that didn't work out for him, each one of those cups has a lesson. And if he were to take these lessons and apply them to this new situation, he would create a much better situation for himself. So I always look at the Four of Cups as mixing things together. You need to take all your experiences, mix them together, get the gold. I always say we shouldn't be going through pain and getting nothing for it. If we go through something, we should be extracting the lesson, the wisdom, the knowledge, whatever from the situation, and then we should be applying it to life. That's how you get the gold. So I feel that for you here, what this is saying is don't give up on whatever you've been trying to work towards. Mix together your lessons so you can accomplish it. Next, you have the Justice card. This could just be more fairness. I do think the energy is a little bit more fair for Capricorn. Fair in the sense that things can work if you put the energy into it. Justice also asks us to pay attention to cause and effect. We have to, pay attention to what's working, what's not working. We have to double down on the good stuff and kind of go from there. With the Chariot, you have the Eight of Wands, which is great, quick success. Definitely something is going to be successful for you very quickly. These two cards are both cards of momentum, things picking up speed and things happening faster. But like I said, we have to move in that direction for that to happen. So I would definitely encourage you to try new things or do new things, with these energies. With the Four of Cups, you have the King of Swords. Sorry, you have the King and Queen of Swords here. I am not the biggest fan of the King and Queen of Swords. If this is love, Now Taurus also had this, so you could be attracting a Taurus into your life. Could be any sign general reading, but these two do not see eye to eye, and so that could be a little bit of an issue. Now, it's not always true because sometimes I feel that these two can say that it's two people who just don't know each other yet, so maybe you haven't met this person yet, or you just don't even know that this person exists yet. So if you are looking for love, that could be a potential possibility. With the Justice card, you show up Queen of Pentacles. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading, so I feel like you're just showing up in a strong position there. In the area of the good stuff, you have this Old Man card. Says inheritance and mail on it. You have this Coins card. Says luck and money. Now you have the King of Swords, so the King of Swords can be like a mentor, and it doesn't have to be a man. Even though this card says mail on it, this could just be anyone that you look up to. And, again, if you're getting information from a person like about your business or about your career, then this definitely could be increasing your luck or your money. Your luck and money could just be increasing just in general anyway, so, it definitely looks very good for you. You have the Seven of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice and having a lot of options, and now, especially in the good stuff, this would say that you have a lot of options on the direction you can move in life or what you can accept in your life. And I would just start accepting the good things, good things into your life. Start telling yourself you deserve good things and accept those, allow those good things into your life. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a celebration. It's also a card of your community as well. With the Three of Pentacles, we do see a lot of teamwork here. I'm a big fan of teamwork right now because of Pluto and Aquarius. So, again, anything you can do to team up with, positive influences is going to be very beneficial. Now you're going to have to, like I always say, working together with people is a challenge. It is hard, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. It just means we have to get better at picking better people. So definitely something you could work on. Three of Cups is also these three ladies are celebrating a harvest. So they have these pumpkins that are growing around them, and that's what they're celebrating. So a lot of you could be celebrating a harvest in the near future. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in the good stuff is progress. So, I think you're just making progress here, Capricorn, which of course is a good thing. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Four of Cups. This is actually pretty good because Seven of Cups is kind of like just imagining something that you want in your life and not necessarily accepting. Now the Seven of Cups is coming up in the good stuff, which is pushing it more in the positive direction. If it showed up outside of the good stuff, to me it kind of just represents dreaming about something, seeing the good and the bad things that could happen if you accepted something into your life but not actually doing it. But now you're having the Four of Cups here, which we have here. It's almost like you've been asking for something that you're about to receive. So, this could be like an answered prayer or a wish being answered, which is very good. With the Three of Cups, we have another repeating card that is connected. These two are connected right here, and then these two are connected with the Justice card. Justice would be more fairness, and it would also be, again, finding, it could be more balanced connections entering into your life. Now this doesn't have to just be love. This could be everything, every type of connection you can possibly imagine coming in for you, and, that looks really good. I would pay attention with Justice, like making sure that the connections you are getting into, work relationships, business relationships, everything, that it's actually working. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is about carrying a heavy burden, and it says that you have been carrying a heavy burden, which you have for a long time. But he is about to have a harvest. He is about to reach his home that's in the background of the card there. And, showing up in the good stuff, it would say that your hard work is paying off, which is good. You have this originality card. I feel you have very original ideas. Chariot, Eight of Wands, Three of Pentacles, needing to put those things on display. So your original ideas are definitely going to be the thing that leads you to success. I think that the challenge, like I said, is actually putting those ideas on display, as in you showing your work, right? That is the thing that Capricorn needs to do because you've been doing it in darkness for so long. So there you go. You have this versatility card. This is about being flexible. This is another card that I think makes a lot of sense right now because we have Pluto and Aquarius again. Pluto and Aquarius is going to require us to look at like eccentric or different ways of doing things in all areas of life. So as long as we're being flexible and versatile, we will find success. It's when we become too fixed and we say like, this needs to work this way. If you have that mindset going into a business or relationship, whatever, then it's not going to work. So I would be more flexible. You have this influence card. If you are getting into any new connections, I would be careful of external influences. I think you had this card with me in previous readings as well, and so this card can represent like external influences affecting a connection. And I would just make sure that external influences don't affect your connection. You have this appreciation card, very good card of abundance coming in for you. So there's this cornucopia right here, and that cornucopia represents abundance. I would be practicing gratitude with this card for more success. And finally, you have this defense card. This card is about having boundaries and, of course, having healthy boundaries. Again, I don't know why that's not focusing, but whatever. So having positive boundaries and making sure that you're protecting your energy would be a good idea. But this looks really, really good, Capricorn. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.